Good morning and welcome back to Redirecting. This day we're going to have to put up with the sounds of the animals. I'm out and they are being very noisy right now, so it's not much I can do about that. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is many of the statements that we hear concerning the black community and who is raising these men and criminals and different things like that. Whenever I do a video where I'm talking about what a black man has done to a black woman or what he has done in general, as in committing a crime so heinous that it makes national news and things of that nature, we always get the backlash of those who say, well, who's raising these thugs and who's raising these criminals? Well, I wanted to actually agree with those of you who say, well, it's the black woman raising these criminals. I wanted to agree with you on that. But my agreeing with you on that does not mean that I support the idea behind the statement. Okay, the idea is that many of you think that the black man is completely guiltless. The fathers of these children, or these, should I say, they're no longer children, but at the point where they're committing crimes and doing heinous things. But you're saying, well, the black man is guiltless, or you feel that the black man is guiltless because he wasn't there and he did not participate in raising that man or that woman to the stage of being an adult. Okay, so that is where the problem lies as well. Now, we can also say this, that not every situation is a one size fit all. Okay, there are literally some criminals, whether black or white or Latino or whatever, that were raised right by good parents. And the ways of the world made their hearts grow cold. Okay. That happens as well, where since society is an influence on a person's life. And so that is the case also with some of the black males that many are trying to say, well, black women raised them. So in some cases, there was a father there too. There is not a one size fit all. But in a lot of cases, it is, or it was, a single black mother who raised the individual who grew up to be a stone cold criminal. Okay, but my focus is the fact that it is not the black woman's fault alone. So many different variables have to be inserted into this. That you have the absent father, which is the top and worst element of it all. And then you have the ways of the world, the wickedness, the demonic infiltration and influence in the world. There are so many things that need to be looked at. And I feel that it is another form of deflection when you try to say, well, who raised them? We all know who raised them. It is just another form of deflection, another way to say that the black man or the father of that child is innocent because he wasn't there. The fact that he wasn't there shows that he was not innocent, because the scripture says if a man doesn't take care of his children, he's worse than an infidel. So according to the Most High, you don't get a pass because you weren't there. Now, again, I already know, I can hear the deflectors right now coming up with an angle. They're saying, okay, well, the mother wouldn't let me see my children. Or the mother did this and the mother did that. She was a wicked person and she wouldn't allow me. Now, what's funny about that is how some of these deflectors, or those who utilize that as an excuse, they will use the court system. If they wanted to sue somebody for money, they'll go through all of the necessary channels and file all of the necessary paperwork and contact all the necessary legal teams and everything if they wanted to sue someone to get some money for something, right? But when it comes to seeing your children, you say the mother won't let you see the child. Well, why not go through a legal channel or a legal method of seeing your children if it was really that important to you, instead of you riding that excuse for 18 years until the child is no longer considered legally a child. I still feel like at that point, even after the age of 18, you still have a responsibility to that child that you helped bring into the world. You knew what it took to make a baby. You black women, you also know what it takes to make a baby. To me, the solution is to stop making them, both of you. If you don't want to parent them together, if you don't want to raise them together, if you don't want to raise them right, why do you keep making them? Now, we do understand. I understand when I say these things, sometimes I have to talk or speak from a secular standpoint. I know and I understand all about predestination and that there is not one life that exists on this planet that was not preordained by the Most High Himself or predestinated. I get that, but we are still to give instructions in righteousness. If you don't want these children, if you don't want to raise them, if you don't want to be a good parent, if you don't want to take part in their rearing, then stop making them. Black woman, keep your legs closed. Black men, keep your pecker in your pants. Because the problems that we see exist because of the mindsets that exist in the black community, both in the men and the women. The women just allowing themselves to be sperm dumps to whoever will make a deposit, and the men just dumping it wherever they are allowed to make a deposit. No one thinking about or considering the consequences that a life may be formed. And once that life is formed, are you going to nurture it from beginning to end? Nurture as in take care of. And I don't mean buying gym shoes and clothes. I don't know where that came from, where some black people think that taking care of their children means to buy them clothes and gym shoes. Where the hell did that come from? It is more to raising children and taking care of them than just providing for their basic needs. Their basic needs is so small and minute compared to their mental and spiritual needs. A pair of gym shoes, because they're whining about what other children have or what other kids have, that's nothing. Getting them the latest fashions, that's nothing. Sitting them down and teaching them and educating them on the ways of the world and how to navigate through all of this is far more important than clothes on the back and shoes on the feet. And I'm not saying to neglect that either. Don't leave the other undone, however. You get them their basic needs, you provide for that, but you also provide for their mental and spiritual needs. And if you yourself don't have it, seek it out before you bring children into the world. Because all of the excuses that you could throw out amount to nothing when we continue to bring forth children that are going to be just detriments to society. And then want to point the blame and say, well, it was the woman's fault. No, it was the man's fault. How about this? It was both of your faults. When both of you decided to lay down that faithful night and come together in your sexual bliss with no type of commitment to one another and bring forth this child, it became both of your faults at that moment. So for all of you men who want to keep saying, well, it's the black woman raising these thugs, try again. Whoever deposited his sperm in that black woman, is his fault too. He's more to blame in the sight of the Most High Yah, because he should have kept it in his pants. If you had no idea of what you wanted to do with that woman, if you had no intentions of having a life with that woman or being connected to that woman, if you had none of that in your intentions, you should have never laid with her to begin with. I don't know what this whole idea, some men think that they have a right to sleep with whoever they want and that the Most High endorses this. You can just deposit your sperm and be on your way. That is ridiculous behavior. And black women, you need to understand, you have to stop allowing yourself to be a sperm deposit. Like I said before in a previous video, the greater responsibility falls on you because you are the one who carries that child in your womb. You are the one.